in Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Austria, Germany and Czech Republic, не входящих в русские, гетто, Холокост, геноцид страны, индийско-китайские страны и остальные страны, где живут черножопые подонки и суки, и их пиздосранки и гондоны, суки и кобели. Русские гетто, Холокост, геноцид страны — это Россия, СССР, СНГ, Болгария, захваченными Прибалтика, где русские подонки и суки, и черножопые суки и подонки с их пиздосранками и гондонами, суками и кобелями устроили геноцид мне, пытая аппаратурой и майнд-контроль над аппаратурой, и применяя все формы принуждения, насилия, террора, рабства, насильно удерживая на территории фашистской страны России, не давая мне осуществить мою эмиграцию, въезд в Австрию, Германию, Нидерланды, Францию, Чехию, Шотландию, Англию, Америку, Канаду или Аляску, куда я собираюсь, насильно удерживая на территории фашистской страны России и пытая аппаратурой и майнд-контроль над аппаратурой, и принуждая находиться среди подонков и сук, и их пиздосранок, и гондонов, сука, кобелей. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Johnny and Lauren. And Angela and John, Kirsten York. And the all white people's race. From the USA. Canada, Alaska, Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Austria, Germany and Czech Republic. Hello, Joy. Today is the 13th of September 2025. Over there, looking for.
So this morning I went out to the east side.
Today is a Saturday.
Made a pretty unique video. I went home and rested up. And I finally decided to sell my PS5. I've had a ad up on Facebook forever on Marketplace that's had like hundreds and hundreds of inquiries.
The real date and time to
And
this
there's been some
moment.
people that have kind of wasted my
Street
time.
now
saying they're
19
interested, so I was like,
hours
sure, I'll hold off.
and
then they flaked
29 minutes
Or
after
I flaked out on
midday
people.
PM. Looking
out.
for.
Some dude messaged me and was like, hey, I'll come get that. I'm like, cool.
Hello, Joy.
I brought the PS5 down to this corner right here. He had an article with me in it on his phone. He's like, is this you? I'm like, yep. He's like, well, I guess I can trust you. I was like, yeah, I'm not exactly going to be ripping you off. So he got the PS5, sent me an e-transfer. It was instant, auto deposit. It's as good as a marketplace sale can go. Set it right before I headed out to sell it to him. He didn't even want to look in the box or anything. He just trusted me. I did have all the original packaging. I wiped it down and made it as good as new. There's a look up at the e-condos. How much did I sell it for? It was a digital PS5 with one DualShock 5 controller, and I threw in a DualShock 4 controller because I don't need it. I already have two Xbox controllers lying around I can use with my PC, and I have a much better controller for my PC. I listed it for $450, but in my mind I was going to sell it for $4, and he said $375. I'm like, let's just do it. I just spent way too much time talking about that. If you know me, you know where I'm going in Yorkville tonight. There's only a few different bars I would actually want to go to there. I know Lisa could probably guess it. Making the switch to a Switch Mario Kart time? No, I've got a 9070 and a 9700X, or yeah, CPU. I can play pretty much anything on my PC, and video games are like a time sink. I waste so much time when I get into one, like I did with Rocket League, or like I am now. I'm really into Rematch. I've been playing that way too much. So since I have a PC that is more than capable, there's no need to have multiple game systems. I'm a 44-year-old grown-ass man. I was playing Rematch today, watching Bitcoin go up. Saving up for a Lambo. Not quite. Toronto is here, Chris Mills, Mimi, Vivian Johnson, and Marge. And I think I saw Medano. But thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell to be notified when I go live next. Normally it's 3-4 times a week. If I'm not feeling better on Sunday, I'm probably going to skip the Sunday Night Live. I didn't work out today, so hopefully I'm better tomorrow and I can do that. Hey, it's City TV News. The Farm Boy is in the background. I wonder if they're doing a story on Farm Boy, because that Farm Boy was closed due to a health code violation, and it doesn't look like it's opened back up. And if you look where they're angled, where she's standing, where the camera is, it looks like they're doing that to get the Farm Boy in the shot. And probably the sun is why they're not over here. But I'm willing to bet that's what they're reporting on. Someone speculated on Reddit that there were rats. And even though it's a new building, any area you have a lot of condo development and construction work, rats tend to show up in large numbers. I remember seeing dozens and dozens of rats scurrying around Yonge and Eglinton at night when that intersection was dug up. By the Abundance is here. I guess I can tell my friends if they're wondering where I am, if I'm late. Just check the stream. We are heading down towards Davisville. This could be one of the last weekends where you could take in some good patio weather. What street is this? This is Yonge Street. I almost said Davisville, then I almost said Eglinton. So you know my brain isn't quite working well. Michael had rats invade his apartment. It's a horror movie in real time. Yeah, I once had rats in a basement apartment when I lived near Koreatown. I remember it kind of freaked me out. I was definitely not expecting it. And then I sent an email to my landlord, and they just acted like it was no big deal. They're like, "Did you buy some rat traps?" And I was like, "No. Isn't that your job?" Hey, that guy just recognized me. He's like, he walks fucking Toronto. Yep. That would be one of the people that do that. Thursday's hot chicken. I also had a thought to go live after tonight, but I don't know if I'd really be up to that. Maybe next week we'll do a Friday night live stream. And I don't want to give anything away, but someone rant and rave about how I was featured in a TV show. And for some reason that was all to spite that particular person. Sometimes there's a look, Morgan. Thank you, Morgan. Nothing is settled. Johnny, the Jays make it to the playoffs. Will you spray a few bucks to go to a live game? I mean, you know what? The last run, I went to almost every playoff game for 2 years. Sadly, the Batista Bafflet game was the one game that series I didn't go to. I got to see the walkout corner, the wild card versus the Orioles. See the game where Josh Donaldson scored dry market and fruits basket fresh. So we're quite beloved by a lot of locals in the area. Both stores are closed. And that is a massive loss to this neighborhood. These little food markets like that are just so much better than going to big grocery stores. Where are you going now? Young and Eglinton? And you're going to take the subway? Are you going to pay for it? Are you going to pay a subway? No, you already have a subway? Oh, so you're already on your... Yeah, because if you weren't, I would say you lost it. So, not really. That's really a waste.
This guy, I was gonna say to you, this guy.
What was that?
I was gonna say to you, take this guy and to this guy, because I said, hey, Alex, you don't like to see him. I might use this okay. I know you don't like to see him.
Well, I hope you enjoy the movie. Are you meeting Alex in the movie? The State's chicken ain't good. Yes, it's expensive for what it is, but good. It is. All right, Liam's gonna pop into the station here. Well, thank you for popping in. Thank you for the support. Enjoy the movie. What is this Fiat driver doing? There's a motorcycle in the lane. Maybe there's not right beside the motorcycle. Ever do that? And if it's a bicycle, you can as long as you leave a full meter between you and them. Like you can take the full lane if they want. The rider can. I don't. Something with safety. Necessitates it, but if that is the case, you can ride your bike smack in the middle of the lane. Hopefully, it gets pulled off, and hopefully where I'm going, I get a view of the game. I'm playing just under 500 Orioles, a team that many experts, in fact, I think almost every expert thinks we can finish ahead of the Jays. There was a post on Reddit in which the CBS experts, AL East predictions, and the Jays were almost universally picked to be last. Will Buffalo Bills go 16-0 this year? No. Will they win the Super Bowl? No. Will they have a good year? Yes. Will KC beat them in the playoffs? Possibly. KC doesn't have much in the way of receivers right now. Taylor Willie is down. She Rice is suspended. They got Hollywood Brown. No offense to Travis Kelce, but he's nothing special. NYC. Good to see you. If you don't watch, why don't Canadians watch CFL? Most prefer NFL. I don't think that's necessarily true. The NFL is very popular here. We're playing CFL. Not in Toronto, but in other markets. I think if Toronto ever did land an NFL team, it seems unlikely given the proximity to Buffalo. I think the CFL could easily coexist with the NFL. Yargo is like a pretty small but loyal fan base. I don't think that goes away. Yeah, it's all in your town. And they only play once a week, so it's not like another sport where they're playing 4, 5, 6 times a week. Like it's easily make the laundry Yargo and an NFL team. Harry Foster on Sunday, September 14th. Consider to make a short list of the greatest Canadians of all time. That guy would be a strong candidate. We're a big inspirational Canadians. Producer Halifax could use a CFL team. Yeah, there could be. Probably only have to pull 15,000, 20,000 fans again. So it's not really that big of a market. Adventures with fans, glad I'm not the only person wearing a Blue Jays cap. You asked it earlier if you're a bird watcher. Something like that. And we're playing our whole bird drones today. We can play the Blue Jays. Maybe not any of them. But most of them. Very much, so that's why even though I'm not well, I agreed to go. Straits, my brother. Or Downey could be on the list, yeah, for sure. Geddy Lee. I think my brain's too far gone to rack up. Ferguson Jenkins. First Canadian to make the Hall of Fame. So back in history, there's a lot more great ones that we probably don't talk about a whole lot anymore. If you get into hockey, you probably have a list of 100 deep. At the sock, there we go. You don't think an NFL team will reach Canada anytime soon, hopefully within the next 5 years? The Expos will return to Canada. I think that's the most likely major sports team to move to Canada. Be a baseball team in Montreal. They would need a stadium deal. Yeah, I think the Bills are just too close. They wanted to go to the stadium down here. Kind of worked well. Johnny's the Skydome again. Sadly not. But imagine the goodwill that Rogers would get. They just renamed it the Rogers Skydome. With the Rogers logo right in front of the building. They would get so much positive press that we're doing that. Yeah, no one will actually call it the Rogers Skydome. fields, but I think that would be a massive win. Chris just says it's tough to conflate ethnicity and someone's accomplishments. In 2025 it is, but if you turn back time to when Ferguson Jenkins was playing, he was clearly dealing with an extra barrier that a lot of other players didn't have. So to not just make it, but be one of the cream of the crop, I think, is worth making that distinction. Same reason why you hear about Hank Aaron a lot and Willie Mays. Different time, different circumstances. As kids, they didn't even have access to all the same things kids today do. And we're at Heath Street and Young Streets. I guess we're sticking to the west side of Young Street. Amy says it will always be the Skydome to you anyways. You and anyone else who is a true blue Torontonian. Ralph says we love this Friday evening stream. Perfect time. Glad it's appreciated, Carl. I believe this is chill out at Friday ice cream at some point. Try to do a nighttime one as well. Changes the names of venues a lot. That's that corporate contract runs out, they sell the next name off to the highest bidder. I don't think there's anything dumber than having Rogers Stadium up at Downsview that's not really a stadium, it's a concert venue, and having the Rogers Center, which is a stadium, be the Rogers Center. Center sounds like a place you hold a convention or a banquet hall kind of place. Doesn't sound like a baseball.
This is breakfast, lunch. I
There's a
don't
story
know
on Reddit of a guy who went to the
what to
Rogers Center
consist.
instead of Rogers
It's
Stadium. He went to the
psychoppreparat
wrong
с
one.
гормоном without without. These ingredients for this
It's also Rogers
sandwich.
Place. What the hell is that?
This sandwich with fish and
They
cheese
called it Rogers Field,
and
Rogers
mini
Dome.
oranges. Looking for
Center?
jam and
They
yogurt
spent all that money making it
with
a
granola
dedicated
and
baseball venue
coffee
that could host the occasional
with
concert.
honey black. Looking for
It's time to rename it.
this is breakfast lunch. Looking for
Chris Mills says it's all about that money. Christos is just glad work is over and you can decompress with a stogie and a beer. Well, thank you, Carl. Probably because center is spelled wrong. It is spelled 100% correctly. I don't know what kind of freak spells center ER. Probably the same kind of nut job that measures temperature in Fahrenheit and distance in miles. How can you go to the wrong one? I think they just assumed that the word stadium applied to the Skydome. Carl says the old Downsview area could be a really good site for a stadium. For an NFL stadium, yeah. Because they only play every other week pretty much, 8 times a year. And there's a GO train station there, a subway station, and it's right off the highway. And I could even build a parking lot and get some tailgating. As much as I prefer stations near Union or stadiums near Union or Exhibition, I think Downsview would be perfect for an NFL stadium. Phuket Walk says Vancouver Customs called you out for lying. They said you worked at... Just reading your comments. But I had to pick my head up and look where I was going. Johnny says, bring back the Skydome name. Zeldini's. Oh, we're gonna miss the pickleball action. I'm on the wrong side of the street. Oh well. Yeah, we are in the vicinity of Holy Chuck. I think I saw Action Kid go live. It was like his first time in several weeks, if I'm not mistaken. He's back in Saigon. Our gang, the Little Rascals, I am well. Carl, I don't know. Thank you, Michael Kaiser.
Where you click it and you just like...
I've been seeing some videos on the US. Apparently Florida tourism in the housing market has dried right up. But media and politicians are careful not to acknowledge the lack of Canadians and international video visitors for the most part. Las Vegas is the same damn thing. I was going to go to Las Vegas earlier this year with friends, but we bailed on that. I think I said in an earlier stream the only way I would go is if the whole trip was comped. I don't think that has changed. But sure, send me a ticket and pay for my hotel. I think I'll go anywhere. District 3 is where the party is at in Saigon. Isn't it District 1 where Bui Vien Walking Street is? That's where my Airbnb was. And a fantastic Airbnb at that. It was at the One Saigon. Hey, David Warren, holy cow. David Warren, thank you oh so much for the support, $30. Thank you. I have no words to say other than extreme gratitude for you, sir. Thank you, David. As we look directly into the sun, And that was our first super chat. We're 40 minutes in. Thank you for breaking the spell. I have done a few streams where I didn't get a single super chat. And I didn't even notice until someone else pointed it out to me. But thank you, David Warren. Chris says, great route this Friday. All of us here must be in a good mood. Well, this was my lazy route. I was going to Yorkville anyways. And I normally stream at some point on Fridays. But after spending all day yesterday hibernating, just under the covers with a nasty cold, I'm trying to get my steps in today. Our Charco says the USA doesn't need anything from Canada. Yeah, just our lumber, our potash, our uranium, natural gas, our tourists, all the snowbirds buying up Florida real estate. Oh, just billions and billions of dollars, I guess. But other than that, they don't really need anything from us. There's a look along Woodlawn. Greetings, Magic Eraser. Carl spent yesterday indoors as well. Yeah, and I didn't have any videos for tomorrow ready to go. So today's video was actually supposed to be Saturday morning. And then I was going to live stream this morning. That was my first plan, but I wasn't feeling well enough, so I set Saturday's video to go live Friday morning, which is today. And then I figured I'm gonna have to go out and make a video for Saturday because I'm all out. So I did that early this afternoon. Anna's Heavenly Nails. I can fall behind time to time. Yeah, Carl, I think the bottom has fallen out of Florida real estate. And a lot of restaurants and local businesses in areas that are hard hit are closing down in big numbers. Is a stable banking system in Canada. Canada is the only place that they can find out right now in the future. I think we have probably the most stable banking system in the entire world. The big flag all sailed through 2008 as there was a secretive government bailout of sorts propping that up. It was nothing like the disaster with the U.S. banking system. That's a busy place. It's a popular diner. We just all learned that that lady has a special name. Scott here. Hello, everyone. Greetings. Welcome to the stream. Here's the semi-little LCBO. Not the biggest LCBO, but I would call it the flagship store. You'll need a train station there. Somerville subway station. There's subway stations that doesn't have a bus servicing it. Daryl says, as an American, I can understand how Canadians feel. Just know most of us are friends. No agreement from me there. Carl says TD Bank now is the worst banking system next to CIBC, followed by World Bank. Well, if you follow the markets, the big five banks have been a very steady return. Maybe your personal experiences are great. And I just debanked, actually. My bank isn't even a bank. I can receive my monthly pay from Google into it. They gave me a card that works at any ATM in Canada. I don't pay a fee. I get 2.75% interest on my checking account. An e-transfer after selling my PS5 came instantly. And I'm not giving a big bank any money. I'm letting them hold money. I'm very not a fan of using the big banks, but at the same time I recognize that financial insurance is anyone. Banks rule the world. And there's still a sound investment. I think RBC is the biggest. Yeah, their user experiences, their websites and apps are horrible experiences, to say the least. Look at that condo. I don't love the lack of balconies, but I do love the lack of blue or green glass cladding in it. That's Scrivener Square. Why don't I picture someone with a heavy British accent saying Scrivener Square? Maybe just a light English accent. Just look at the Summerhill LCDO, but thank you again, David Warren. Where he says Summerhill LCDO will one day return to being a train station, given the national go line. Yeah, Reese from RM Transit has gone on record saying many times that that should turn back into a commuter rail line. Restaurant on the sidewalk and get to be in a live stream. It's a 2-for-1. There's Toroni. I bet their patio is pretty busy. I don't know if I'm going to be on the patio tonight or if we'll be indoors. Friend just messaged. Reservation under my name, 7 camps, you're there. Rapid says, sounds good. I might be heading there now from Bathurst and Vancouver. You will be early. I think he's driving his Tesla there, which is a weird choice. I always drive everywhere I go kind of person. Carlson's experiences with TD are similar to yours. He wanted to get out, he did slowly over time. Yeah, and they charge you a fee for moving your accounts over. Like your RSP, like your locked-in accounts, you have a Lira with them, which is really just a locked-in RSP or your TFSA. But a lot of institutions will pay that transfer fee for you. Is it allowed to set things up on the sidewalk like that restaurant? If they have the permit for it, it is. There's a cafe TO system. Restaurants can participate in if they're in an eligible area. They have to pay for it, of course. It has to meet certain design guidelines for safety purposes, obviously. I'd argue this was easily one of the best things to come out of the pandemic. One big thing we lost was the active TO. They would shut down major street corridors on weekends and open them up. Just anyone and everyone who wanted to ride their bike or take the family out for a stroll. The Blue Jays were actually a reason for getting rid of some of them on Lakeshore. It was increasing congestion going to the Blue Jay game. Well, if you're going to a Blue Jay game and you're not heading to a GO station and parking, have any sympathy for you? So it kind of sucks we lost that, but I'm glad we kept active TO or cafe TO. This is whatever happened to open streets. That was another one. Yeah, we can do that this year, right? Open young, open bloomer. Open streets too. That's a topic worth investigating. I just got a notification that theory of this trading very high right now. Sweet. Hey, Brad, what is going on here? Brad and Brady. I looked at my camera and it was looking like off on that. To Ramsden Park. So we're not far from Yorkdale or Yorkville. Rosedale Station is across the street. I've got 17 minutes to get to Yorkville Village and be on time, although
I don't know.
Slightly
Is
later.
what to consist
Dingus?
йогурт.
I wouldn't say dingus.
Из психопрепарат с гормоном писал результат. Комфорт.
He didn't say or do anything. He just gave me a death glare. Carl Roth, I don't know if everybody that is shy of the camera is up to something illegal, but there was a time when I was walking north at night, about 5 years ago, doing a live stream, and this guy with bright orange pants started chasing me. He thought I was out filming him. And a lot of people in the chat speculated he was probably dealing a certain substance. Because why else would he take such offense? But he ran right at me. Like he was full on sprinting to me, and there just so happened to be a police cruiser stopped at a red light, if you remember that. And I ran up to the cop and I was like, hey, that guy's chasing me. And just the very fact that I was talking to the cop made the guy kind of scurry away. like a little weasel. If that cop wasn't there, who knows what would have happened. And I didn't run from the guy because I was scared of him. I ran because, why not? Why would I be involved in a confrontation if my legs can take me out of that? You don't know what some crazy nut job is going to be up to. Just leave.
Спецслужб response looking for спецслужб for to like and join toffee.
Remembers that
Toffee
guy?
is not a fake. This psychopрепарат с
And if you
гормонным
are
косом.
a drug dealer or something along those lines and you happen to be in someone's live stream, just go about your business and not draw attention to yourself. Like, why would you draw attention to yourself? Nobody is going to notice or see you if you're just a background character on someone's live stream. So I think there's intelligence or sanity issues at play as well sometimes with people that openly take issue with it. Like, dude, just wear a hat, mask, and glasses if you're that worried about being seen in public. Credence says, hey everyone, happy Friday. Credence, thank you so much. Thank you for the 279 Credence, it's much appreciated. Happy Friday to you. Carl says I did the right thing by running away. Well, even if I'm not the least bit physically intimidated by the guy, and I wasn't, if he's crazy enough to chase after me for seemingly no reason, he might be crazy enough to have a weapon. You don't know. Why roll the dice and find out? Hey, Janice is here. Let's change the topic. It's enough about that. There's Canada or Canadian Tire. Hey, something's going on at the old Masonic Temple tonight. I wonder who's playing. Let's ask Google. What concert is playing at the Masonic Temple tonight? So the story so far with Neck Deep, Origami Angel, and Pain of Truth will play tonight at the Masonic Temple Theater, which is just on the right. These are the early birds that want to catch the opening act.
Notebook.
Hey, this is Davenport. I walked along here in the video I posted yesterday. Kurtesh says, what kind of shoes am I wearing? I'm wearing the Ultra Escalante. I think these are the 4s. Either wear these or my Zero barefoot shoes. I saw a girl out jogging in the barefoot shoes that I wear. Observation. Downsview would be better off being a permanent racetrack for IndyCar racing series. Better than moving it to Markham. That's true. Anything is better than moving that to Markham. what would be awesome is if they could somehow incorporate the Don Valley Parkway into the Indy race. What an asshole.
Брыхерстрелс.
This guy makes an
Well,
actual
one
turn and then throws
of
on
my
his forwards.
favorite composer.
I don't blame the
And
person
this-
who honked at him.
Concert. It's one of my love. What
Christo
means
says, "Keep
near
machines, you need new runners."
J music. For J. Away. Looking for. Looking for. Brücherstrails. The son of my favorite composer. What means love. And this concert. Looking for.
Alright, so the quickest way for me to get there would be to make a right on Yorkville or Cumberland, but you've come all this way with me, we might as well see a slice of Bloor Street, which should be fairly busy. But the stream will be wrapping up in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Like
It's on the shorter side.
music. Looking for.
At least I'm feeling a little better than I thought I was.
Me. Very to like and
Got a
J.
decent amount of steps in today.
This
You see my little
instrument
afternoon adventure?
is very near for me
you wanna see
and my
pathetic?
consciousness. This
Look at
instrument J.
yesterday.
Looking for.
Woof. What happens when you stay in bed all
Is
day?
near. Looking for. And my emotions. Type. Looking for. This one of my favorite instrument. J.
Hey, Palmer, I don't know why
boy.
your message got flagged.
Boy.
Hopefully a monitor or a moderator released it.
And Женя Дах. Looking for.
But we are literally a block and a half away from downtown. Literally, physically.
This sounds my
most of the time.
favorite and love genre and instrument. Oh boy.
He says Young and Bloor is one of the most beautiful intersections on earth.
Looking for.
I don't know about that. Let's look along Cumberland.
To finish tweeting this is most unpleasantly breakfast and lunch. This is moment under influence of mind control technologies looking for. So to finish this moment.
Mark 279, get
Looking
well
for.
soon. Thanks for the stream, Mark. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mark. Much appreciated.
Мы зараз заняты ловом
Getting well
this
soon.
тем.
It
Барыхер
involves showing
Штрел.
some restraint
Looking for.
and not having a certain kind of beverage tonight. Although I think maybe I could get away with one or two. But here's what a viewer just called a beautiful intersection. Thank you, Shadow Joker. And this is the Mink Mile stretch of Bloor Street that just refers to this part of the street between Young and Avenue Road and Queens Park. And it features the most expensive real estate or retail real estate per square foot in Canada. There's a big Canadian retail success story, Aritzia. There's Arc'teryx. There used to be an H&M over there. That's now a fabric plant. There's another Canadian retail success story, Holt Renfrew. The last remaining high-end department store in the city. Saks Fifth Avenue and Nordstrom are long gone. Hi from Syracuse, Susanna. Hi, and bye from Toronto. We are at the end of the live stream, so thank you so much, guys. It's been an awesome weekend. There should be a video tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. EST. Crystal says Hemingway is overpriced. I think it's one of the few not overpriced places in Yorkville. But yeah, that's probably where I'm going. March, $5 for a very soft drink. If by soft, maybe you mean light and alcoholic. Thank you, Marge, for the super chat at the buzzer. All right, I gotta go in and meet my friends. So have a good night, guys. Yoink. Thank you, Brad, Medano, Jenny K, Mark D, Trojan Elk Explorer, Alicia, Gertej, Vivian, and everyone else. Yoink.
Vietnam will be smoking like a fart. I don't know Jack. The cigarette is fake or is not fake. Is nature tobacco or fake? With special green. For is unpleasantly and crazy emotions and consciousness. Looking for. I don't know, James, what it consisted. Nature tobacco or fake. With special green. Is not of good. Looking for consciousness and emotions. Looking for. And there is giant alone. This concerto giant. Барыхаш Стрелс. For a boy. The major. This is one of my favorite music. What I to know. Looking for. is interested is how to go in the measure, foot of the measure, in F major. Is interested this is how to go of the major in F major and to come back in the major. Looking for very interested. А это Сынкина, вон. Вот. Везде. Минор. Везде минор. And F major. And come back. And the major. To listen to this music and to analyze it. Looking for And to finish smoking.
He's nothing special. Okay, where I said that. Greetings, me. Jasmine NYC. Good to see you. Why don't Canadians watch CFL and most prefer NFL? I don't think that's necessarily true. The NFL is very popular here, but so is CFL. Not in Toronto, but in other markets. I think if Toronto ever did land an NFL team, which seems unlikely given the proximity to Buffalo, I think the CFL could easily coexist with the NFL.
Это listen this music looking for.
Some Line 1 trains crossing one another, or passing. The Argos have a pretty small but loyal fan base. I don't think that goes away if the NFL came to town. And they only play once a week, so it's not like another sport where they're playing 4, 5, 6 times a week.
Барыхер стрелс.
So I could easily make the time to watch the Argos and an NFL team.
I'm very interested in this.
But you go to Winnipeg or Regina,
And this мир.
and the CFL is still kind of a
This
big deal.
music. Зачне. Looking for.
Hey, Terry Fox run, Sunday, September 14th.
The plan.
If you were to make a short
My
list of greatest
favorite
Canadians of all
composer.
time, that guy
Oh, the section is near
would be a strong candidate
and pleasant
for at least the most inspirational Canadians.
for my consciousness and emotions and mind.
Brady says Halifax could use a
And
CFL team. Yeah, there could be
Psycho,
one on the
healthy,
East Coast for sure, and Halifax would be the likely spot.
emotional, looking for.
They probably only have to pull 15, 20,000 fans a game, which seems doable, even though it's not really that big of a market.
This one of my favorite style and
Adventures with Dan
emotions.
says, glad I'm not the only person wearing a Blue Jays cap. You were asked earlier
Looking
if
for.
you're a bird watcher. You responded by saying something like that. Hey, we're playing our fellow
As
bird
mozzo.
bros today. Hopefully they do us a favor. Kristen supports any event that generates income for local businesses.
Зачне. That what makes мир
I would generally
for.
agree with that. Maybe not any
and
event,
pleasant. Looking for.
but most of it.
And me is very interested. How
How am I looking for time? It's
How?
6:17.
to go and the
Usually a
measure
stickler for not being late. I'm super
Two.
punctual, but
of measure
hey, that's a really cool name.
and to come back and the measure
I'm
and
meeting
to
three
think
friends that I went to high
what
school with.
is yeah
We don't see each other
to
very
yeah
much, so that's why,
minor
even though I'm not well, I agreed to go.
and the minor
Strids, my brother,
in F
we're down to be on
measure
the list, yeah, for sure.
very
Eddie Lee.
interested contrast
I think my
For me.
brain's too far gone to rack up. Ferguson Jenkins, first Canadian to make the Hall
looking
of Fame.
for
I think the first Black Canadian to make Major League Baseball. If you go back in history, there's a lot more great ones that we probably don't talk about a whole lot anymore.
the thing is Женя to eat and cooking breakfast and lunch and to smoking and this
You get into
moment
hockey,
looking
you
for
probably have a list 100 deep.
this is not
Ed the
all
Sock,
good
there we go.
was being Женя as is maybe will be this looking
I
for
think an NFL team will reach Canada anytime soon, hopefully within the next 5
without
years.
under influence and
Expos
mind
will
control
return to Canada. I think that's
technologies
the most likely
Russian Reds and their
major sports
six
team to
here
move to Canada.
looking for
Would be a baseball team in Montreal. They would need a
help
stadium
me
deal,
please Женя
even though they're fixing up the O. I
Help
don't think
me,
that's an appropriate
please,
long-term
John.
home.
and let people thrust from the sea and Canada, Alaska and
Yeah, I think the
Scotland,
Bills are just too
England,
close.
United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Germany and Czech Republic.
Although if an NFL
Help
team
me
came here and
please
wanted to build a
Женя to
stadium
realize immigration
at Downsview, I
of
think
this
that would kind of
prison
work
Russian
well.
zone in one
Johnny
of
says Skydome to
countries.
Skydome again. Sadly
There
not.
will want dance forever.
But imagine the goodwill that Rogers would get.
Compare,
They just
please,
renamed it
John.
the Rogers Skydome.
They can
Put the
jump
Rogers logo
with you.
right in front of the old
This
one.
prison Russian zone
They would get
with
so
you.
much positive press
in
out
one
of
of
doing that.
countries. There
Yeah, no
will
one
want
will actually
dance
call it the Rogers
forever.
Skydome other than
Help me, John,
corporate
please.
chills, but
And white
I think
people
that would be a
thrust
massive win.
from the USA and Canada, Alaska, Scotland and England, United Kingdom,
Krista says it's tough to
Netherlands,
conflate
France,
ethnicity and
Austria,
someone's
Germany and Czech
accomplishments. In
Republic.
2025 it is, but if you turn back time to when Ferguson
Compare
Jenkins
please.
was playing,
Take a jump
he
with
was
you.
clearly
This
dealing with
prison
an
Russian
extra
zone.
barrier
With you.
that a lot of other
In
players
lots
didn't
of
have.
countries.
So to not
There
just
will
make it,
want
but
living
be one of the cream of the
horror
crop, I think,
of my first birthday in
is
prison.
worth making that
Russian
distinction.
zone. And this horror, hope me please
Same
relax
reason why you hear about Hank Aaron a lot
immigration
and Willie Mays.
and white people's wrath from the sand, Canada, Alaska,
Different time,
Scotland,
different
England,
circumstances.
United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Austria, Germany and Czech
As kids, they didn't
Republic.
even have access to
Hope
all the same
me
things
please not to
kids
have
today
car
do.
and $1,000,000 and euro.
And we're at Heath Street and
And
Young
the real
Street.
contacts with white people's wrath from this
I
country.
guess we're sticking to
There
the west
we
side
want
of Young Street.
wins horror.
Mimi says it will
Hope
always be
me
this guy don't
please
you.
joy.
Anyways, you and anyone else
And to Jenny dreaming to
who is
have
a
got
true blue
this
Torontonian.
instrument in Canada, Alaska, USA, Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Austria, Germany or Czech Republic. To dream in Jenny, to play Jenny at the oboe
Carl Roth says we love this Friday evening stream.
of my
Perfect
free
Glad
time.
it's appreciated, Carl.
And to have got work and money.
I've been meaning
my
to
free
just chill out
time.
at home and do a Friday
And
night
this
stream
horror
at some point on this
education.
channel, similar to what I do on
And
Stumble.
Jenny, Herbs Hort, and oboe.
So perhaps we'll do that in the coming weeks. And I'll try to
Please.
do a nighttime one as well.
I will want Jenny to learn together with
Lacey
you.
says Toronto changes the names of venues a lot. That's
And
a
with all
common theme
white
in a
people
lot of
thrust.
cities. That
In
corporate
Canada,
contract runs
USA,
out, they sell the next name off to the
Alaska,
highest bidder.
Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Austria, Germany or
think there's
Czech
anything
Republic.
Dumber than having
Help me, Jenny,
Rogers
please.
Stadium up at Downsview. That's not really a stadium; it's a concert venue. And having the Rogers Center,
have
which is a
Jenny,
stadium,
money
being the
and
Rogers
work.
Center
In
sounds like
restaurants,
a place
bars,
you hold a convention or a
and
banquet hall kind of
manufacturers
place.
industry,
Doesn't sound like a
transport,
baseball field.
internet, mobile industry,
There's a story on Reddit of a guy who went to the Rogers Center
magazine, sales
instead of
industry,
Rogers Stadium, or he went to the wrong one.
and other industry what is near. With
There's
this
also
industry
Rogers
with
Place.
me
What the hell is that?
is interested.
I could have called it Rogers Field, Rogers Dome,
Help me, Jenny, please.
Center.
And to have got
And then they spent all that money making
availability
it a
home
dedicated
or
baseball
water
venue that
little
could host the
little
occasional
house,
concert.
and credit or hypotheca.
It's time to rename
Of
it.
work and money and work, freedom and
Chris
dependence,
Mills says it's all about that money.
and the availability, Dalmatians, and Johnny Herbs Heart, and a boy.
Christos is just glad
Hope
work is
Johnny,
over and
please.
you can decompress with
Come
a
to
stogie
Johnny,
and a beer.
please. Take a Johnny, please, with you. This prison Russian
Well,
zone
thank you, Carl.
in lots of countries. There
Probably
won't
because center is
be
spelled wrong.
horror.
It's spelled 100% correctly.
I will cannot Johnny living in Russian prison
I don't know
zone
what kind of freak
with
spells
Russian
center
rats
ER.
and their six and here
Probably the same kind of nut job
Johnny,
that
please.
measures temperature in
and
Fahrenheit
white people
and
thrust
distance in
to
miles.
realize my immigration in lots of countries. There won't be horror.
How can you go to the wrong one? I think they just assumed that
Cooking
the word
this
stadium applied
breakfast
to the
lunch
Sky Dome.
looking for. What is
Carl
most
says the old Downsview area could be a
unpleasant
really good site for a
at
stadium,
the
for an
taste.
NFL stadium, yeah.
under influence
Because they
of
only play
mind-controlled
every other
technologies,
week, pretty much,
Russian
8
rats
times a year.
and their six and here.
And there's a GO train station there, a subway station, and it's right off the highway.
Help me, please, Johnny.
And I could even build a parking lot and get some tailgating. As much as I prefer
It was my everyday video message.
exhibition.
Number one of this. Help me join police.
Phuket Walk says Vancouver Customs called you out for lying.
And 20 people
He
thrust
said you worked at
from the US and Canada, Alaska,
comments.
Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Austria, Germany, and Czech Republic to realize my immigration in one of countries where we won't live forever. As is everyone normal humans in civilization countries and industrial as Canada, USA, Alaska, Scotland, England, United Kingdom, Netherlands, France, Austria, Germany, and Czech Republic. Help me join, please. It was Jenny's everyday video message. Number one of this prison day. Looking for